Hello, hello.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. And I see we're doing episode 103 twice now. I forgot to change the number.
It won't be the first time we forgot to change the number, let's be honest.
That's all
It
good.
counts right overall, but we do forget things.
We've got the lovely people from Emerson joining us. Shane and Adam, how are you guys doing tonight?
Doing well. How are you guys doing?
All good for a Monday.
Awesome.
You've both got very contrasting backgrounds. One's a very brick wall and one's a very SolidWorks cubicle.
Oh, this is nothing even compared to when I worked as a VAR. I have a huge SolidWorks flag behind me, and then 2 walls of the DVDs and CDs for going back to 2003 or something.
Nice. Is your cubicle pod always that tidy, or have you tidied up for us?
I may have cleaned up a little bit.
Like the notebooks gave it away.
Yeah. So I went through and cleaned up all the stuff from 3D Experience World, all the shirts and swag and everything. Tucked those in a drawer behind me so you can't see them, and then made it look nice.
Nice.
Mine is kind of the exact opposite, hence the brick wall.
Yeah,
it's a little messy behind me, and I've got a few things that I probably shouldn't share on screen.
That's always that. You're going with my work approach: blur everything and hide the mess.
Excellent. So, you guys work at a company called Emerson.
Yes.
Tell us about Emerson.
Yes.
What does it do? I just did a quick little Google beforehand.
So,
tell us what
Emerson is huge.
What you guys do at Emerson.
Yeah, Emerson's huge. We're about 85,000 employees globally. Yeah. So we are one portion of it. We are the flow controls portion. So we work with like flow control valves, sliding stem, ball valves, those types of things like that. We don't compete in the pressure. Our area doesn't compete in the pressure area, so we don't have to worry about that. But we do have other areas that do pressure management and things like that. We're all around, do pretty much everything. There's a whole bunch of divisions or portions of the company that we don't, I'll say, associate with as much or hear about as much because it's so big. It's easy to, I'll say, as a day-to-day person, to not know about what's going on in some of those other ones. But everything from like rigid tools is one of ours. Do you know any other ones, Shane? That I might have.
We've got
not
Crosby. We've got regulators. So Fisher regulators, and there's a few others that are well known. Basically, anything under the Emerson umbrella is if you were to look us up, that's what our company does. And then what I particularly do here at Emerson, I'm a design engineer in our new product development area. So working with cryogenics is something that I'm working with right now. And I've worked with the exact opposite side, which would be our power and steam conditioning side as well. So kind of that entire plethora.
It's not the first thing I'll think of as a process that is still used, but it kind of would be. Like, first thing I think of for steam is a rain.
Yeah, we use a ton of them, especially with nuclear stuff, power plants, steam all day long.
Yep. Yeah, some of the valves that we have dealt with and built, I can stand in and not touch the valve.
There's some big valves in the world. I can only imagine the scale of some of the things you guys have had a hand in. Yeah. So do you do a lot of like pressure relief valves, or is that a different part of the business to you guys?
That is a different part of the business for us. We do have our division Keystone that does that particular type of thing, and they work literally right across the street from us in one of our own buildings.
So then, where does automation fall into all of this? Is that automating the process or automating the manufacturing of the parts that you guys do?
So for us, it's a lot in the design side, and we're just getting around to it more and more. So a long story, very short, is we went to SolidWorks and switched over to SolidWorks and PDM about 2.5 years ago. So before that, we'd been using Creo Parametric. As we switched to SolidWorks. What?
Good luck. I had a stint at Creo for a year and was like, nope, I'm out.
Yeah. So we're now we're all SolidWorks, and so we're trying to run as fast as we can. That's where my role came in when I came onto the company, was to try to take us from 2 years of experience and make it be more like we're at 10 years of experience, and get us picking up the new tools quickly and advancing us along in design and engineering as fast as we can.
Have you found a lot of use going to 3D Experience World?
Oh yeah. I'll say so my role, I'm the CAD solutions architect. My goal is to be forward thinking and to see all the new tools and come up with all the new things that we want. So by going to World, I get to go meet all of the partners that are there and talk to them about all of their cool things that they can do, or their new things that they're planning on doing, and give them suggestions so that when I talk to them again next year, maybe they have something better for me. So it really helps me find those tools for us to bring on. Through that, we've actually brought on DriveWorks, which is probably one of the best known for design automation. And actually, the week after 3D Experience World, Shane and myself and 2 other people sat in DriveWorks training. So we basically just killed the first half of the month all at once, from between World and training.
So you've just had like a 2-week intensive SolidWorks draft site marathon.
Yeah. Yep. But so far, we're trying to get DriveWorks all spun up and start working with that. I think it's going to be an amazing tool for us to use.
Would agree. And I get to test out what Adam brings to us, or sometimes even when I go to 3D Experience World, I get to bring some of that as well. So talking on the DriveWorks side of it, I am going through a project trying to get DriveWorks usability for us and show that to other people in the company.
I guess that could be the scariest part of, like, I've wanted to mess around with, for example, 3D sculpting, and just that leap into trying something new is scary for myself, but I'm sure for you guys, trying to introduce that to thousands of employees, to be like, hey guys, use this new software, probably get a lot of pushback from that.
Oh yeah.
There's a little concern out of people just in general about things like, are you doing it to try to take away jobs? Are you trying to get rid of headcount? No, we don't want to lose anybody. We want to keep everybody. I'd rather take more people and have more people generate more DriveWorks things, so we can get more work through and more throughput. Like, that's the goal, is to get more done with less.
You want them to spend less time creating drawings and more time solving the problems.
Yeah, let's do the cool stuff.
Yeah, I suppose DriveWorks especially probably lends itself to I use the word catalog products, but I know working in the pressure industries, nothing's a catalog product. But in terms of valves, I guess your valve body and stuff like that can be exponential in a way. And you don't want a person that just sits and pumps out a design of a valve body that's slightly different when you can maybe use DriveWorks to do all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, and then all the components that are inside, being able to control those. But obviously, the first thing that we're going to start is not going to be a full valve body. Like, we're going to start with some easy things, and we're going to slowly work our way into it. I've heard horror stories about other things in the past where people thought, "Oh, we can jump into the hardest thing possible," and no, that's not the way to do it.
Yeah, I would suggest starting with the easy thing. I'm an advocate of jumping in with 2 feet, and it bites.
There's only so much you can. By the way, does my mic sound better? I realized I was using the webcam mic instead of this.
Yeah, that's much better. I told you something.
There we go. Right. He's back. Ooh.
Kirby's thinking it's not often that Jonny actually gives feedback, and it's like, no, something's not right.
No. So, and there goes that thought. Jumping in 2 feet. There's only so much you can spend hours planning a day, or a switch up, changing routine. But like Jonny was saying, you just go into 2 feet first, dive into it, see what happens, and then solve from there. So it can be scary. I mean, we're looking to introduce some more cybersecurity stuff, which I see it's one of the software packages you guys offer as well. That's scary for a lot of people because they feel like, there's more control over what's being seen on their computer or their phones, and having to introduce work phones and more two-factor authentications just to log in and do your job. Like, why must I log in to push a button on a machine, for example?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of pushback on that, but it's needed for us and the company to grow. We're also looking to automate the actual machines. So move people away from the machines to do more other stuff. And it's that there's a question of like, I can do it 10 times faster, but I can't do it at 10 o'clock at night. So find that balance, I guess.
Yeah.
Can't clone yourself.
Yep.
One less shift.
Yep.
Yeah. There's multiple ways to automate. There's the manual automation, which means we're just going to throw a whole ton of people at it, and we're going to automate something that way. And then there's the way of actual automation where you're going to make something else do the work for you. And for the longest time, a lot of people just threw people at it. And I think we're getting more and more into the automation where we're going to throw technology at it and do it that way.
The Atlas robots are a perfect example of that. Like, instead of a person carrying box from point A to point B every single day for 8 hours a day, here's a robot that can do it for 12 hours a day with an hour charge and then back at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So along that same thing, in August, Shane and I were out in Waltham at the headquarters, and they brought Spot the robot out there. And we got to play with Spot the robot. So if you don't know what Spot, it's the dog that's completely can do pretty much everything itself. And that was pretty awesome. I'll call it a dog. I don't know what it's supposed to be. It's a dog to me.
Dog.
Yeah, it's got personality. It's unique, and that's what I like about Spot. People aren't afraid of Spot because he's this friendly little dog, bounces and makes you laugh. But then you look at Atlas Rope and you're like, that's going to take my job.
Yep.
I think I've got a few years yet before Spot gets to my.
No, but those people packing boxes for your shipping department.
Oh yeah, that's one of them roles that is like. We must be able to automate some of this. We struggle because you never know what's coming down, and every day is different. And we do so many weird little quantities compared to like mass manufacture that it makes it difficult. But in some industries, yeah, it's like a no-brain.
Do you guys deal with any like automation for like quality control and that kind of stuff? Like, I'm just interested to know what exists out there.
Yeah. Well, at least a lot of the automation that I know that we work with is for the piping industry that we deal with, making sure that like power plants and oil refineries and things like that are running those 24 hours a day, where you can't have, or you probably shouldn't have people on those shifts because it leads to fatigue and things like that. So some of the control systems that our company makes help out with that, and like you can flag warnings and send to somebody's cell phone, hey, this thing is causing issues, you need to go take a look at it. Some of the other things that we're working on is automation of like when things might be failing out on the in the pipe system, like the valves themselves, and how do we figure that out? Hey, this vibration is a concern, you need to take a look at this, call your sales rep, maybe you need to get different things associated with that. And so that's one of the big things that we deal with automation, is just helping maintain everything all the time.
How does that work with like third-party systems? Or for you to be third-party, like if you were to automate all of our manufacturing systems?
I think a lot of our equipment could be used in those applications. The side that I'm directly exposed to is the pressure management, control valves, cryogenic, that type of thing. But the systems that we have in place can be used and worked with other things like 3D printers potentially, or other types of manufacturing applications. But that's a little area that I'm not directly related to, being on the design side, and more of what I call pig iron versus electronics and programming. So I don't get to see all of that, although it would be very interesting to see how what we have is involved with that.
Johnny, how much automation do you have in your place?
Bits and pieces. We've got a robot that does like a manual loading task, so it loads a laser and then unloads and shuffles it around, that kind of stuff, just because it's one of them jobs where you would just have a person stood there for 8.5, I don't know, what are we, days in back shift, I don't know, 16 hours a day, 12 to 16 hours a day, just loading a machine for, one of them sort of minimum wage jobs that is just no one really wants to do it. So if you can automate it, you kind of should. Other than that, we use CNC machines and stuff and bits and pieces like that. They're not, I wouldn't say they're automated. They've got like bar feed units on them, so they're kind of lights out non-stop. But no, we haven't got a lot. We dabble with it, I'd say. I'd like to do more, but it's time, it's resource. We're not 85,000 employees globally, or whatever that big number was that sticks in my head. We're like engineering wise, we're a team of 12 to 15 in the UK, similar in the US. So we have to be selective and partner with third parties when we really need it. So we dabble. I'd say we dabble, Kirby, to answer it in a political way.
Nothing wrong with that.
We target where we think we can look for the biggest wins, and then look at cost versus return on savings, that kind of stuff. There'll be some tasks we look at and just think, you know what, for minimum wage and the life that's in that product, then have at it, sort of thing, for whoever's doing it. And there'll be other things we look at and think, no, that has, knock-on effect quality-wise, that sort of stuff. So we look and kind of analyze problems versus cost versus margin improvements, potential improvements, that kind of stuff. But we do a lot of small production runs, so it's kind of hard to mass manufacture some of it, which is fun but challenging. I'm sure you both have valves for customers that are one-offs, two-offs that you might never see again, and then you're like, oh, great, and then it hits packing and you're like, oh, we don't have a crate that fits in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Totally, that happens. And then the other one that we run into with some of the stuff, we've been around for over 100 years, that somebody will come up with I need this same thing again. You have manufactured that in 75 years. What do you want?
Yeah, we're the same.
We'll remake it all.
Yeah, we've been going 60 years. The product offerings have changed over them years, and you get these random things that pop up from old facilities, and they're like, oh, we need one of these. This one just broke. And you're like, when's it from? And you go into the vault and the archive, and you're like, okay, let's start digging. And then you sometimes go, no, this is a full restart. Tell me the distance between your flanges, and we'll go from there.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've heard stories of those types of scenarios coming up where we're like, where the heck is this? They go to the original foundry that has the core for the thing, and they pull the core off the shelf, and it's got wormholes all over it and everything. It's like, yeah, we're going to need to redo that.
Mm-hmm. It's the nature of especially in valves in that world. It's the nature of the beast that things, great, they last a while, but you can guarantee when they break, they want it the next week.
Yep.
So I feel your pain, boys. It's it's a hell of an industry. So especially talking about obviously the steam industry, the nuclear industry, the legislation and stuff as well, and that is mind blowing.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what every single day is different. I don't know who's going to ring up. One day it's a nuclear company, the next day it's a space exploration company, the next it's oil and gas, pharmaceutical, food and beverage. It's crazy world.
Yep.
Yeah, when so many things flow through a pipe, there's a lot of times for it to come back to you.
Anything that flows, I'm involved with. It's kind of what I always say.
Same.
Yep. So, what? I guess valve-wise, just out of my own curiosity, what's the biggest like nominal pipe valve you guys do or have done?
Largest that I've heard of in control valves is a 48-inch or 46-inch, I believe. And for an on-off, I think we've gone 60 plus for
Big
like
stuff.
some sewage treatment type stuff or sewer systems for cities and things like that.
I don't actually design anything, so we'll go with what he says.
You just sit in your
it's big.
cubicle.
Big. Yeah.
I just
We do big
saw
stuff.
just the other day a steam conditioning valve with a 48-inch outlet. So we get big.
Yeah, 48 inches. It's big scale. We do some big stuff, probably 36-inch, but you're gonna need a big tape, Kirby. 48 inches, a
find
meter
out.
and a half.
Here, I can do the conversion real quick for you.
It's that big.
Big. Big.
That's 1,219 millimeters.
Yeah, big. Yeah, this channel really needs like a built-in conversion thing because it's like a constant battle between Celsius and Fahrenheit and inch and metric. It's
You need to automate a bot that does it.
yeah,
There you go.
There must be some AI for that kind
There'll
of thing.
be something out there, some sort of chat bot. We used to have one, but I haven't used it in a while. I'm sure we still signed up to it.
But yeah, no, the world of valves and that industry, I'm lucky enough that I don't make valves, but I make bits that go near valves, which is always fun. Yeah.
Well, you stop them from like blowing up.
I do. When your valve jams, my disc opens. So
Yes.
if you can not make your valve jam, it would be appreciated because then I have to make sure my disc works the one time it's called into action.
Well,
Which
make
they
sure
always
that
generally
everybody has clean service in their pipelines, and then we're good.
Yeah, that's what I would say. Well, what were you pumping through it?
Right?
Rocks.
It's like a conversation with our manufacturer, our machine OEMs, and that's like, what have you done this time? Nothing.
Yeah.
It wasn't me this time.
Yep. So now I feel the pain.
It's the kind of thing of like the general person sees these kind of things in their houses and that stuff, but don't actually realize the size of a lot of the stuff within infrastructure on an offshore rig or just in some of these industrial places, how big, a tap in your bathroom can get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you've got 1 million taps, you need a big pipe to feed it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, when everyone has, the ad break in the football and they go and put the kettle on for the like nighttime coffee or whatever, you'd just be having a drip out of the tap.
Well, even the electric grid's got to be able to handle everybody turning the kettle on.
Yep.
Peaks and troughs.
So I see what looks like 4 3D experience badges behind you there, Adam.
I'm going to say 5.
Let's try this. This would have been 14, 17,
That's why I don't recognize it.
24, 25, and 26. That's really hard to do over my shoulder.
It does. It messes you up. It's backwards and it's not the way you think it's going to be.
I went as a user, I went as a VAR, and then a user again.
How about yourself, Shane? How many have you been to?
I have been to 4. Basically the same 3 or the last 3 that Adam has, and then one just prior before he joined our team. Went as a user. That was my first time and was very, very overwhelmed, especially without the guidance of Adam, who is been exposed to this world way more than I have.
It's a daunting place the first time you walk through the door, or the doors, I'll say. And
You run through the doors.
Or run and fall on your face.
It depends how energetic you're feeling that morning. It depends what you were doing over the weekend before. But it is
The
a
night before.
Yeah, the night before. Yeah, exactly. But it's a hell of a place. There's nothing I've ever known like it. I've been to different conventions, but it's unique, that's for sure, and especially in the CAD community, I'll say.
Yeah, I see Mr. Mike Puckett there is admiring your certification that's sitting behind you there.
Well, Todd pointed out the one that's right here, and that's my prized possession. That's the elite AE. So
Very
that's
nice.
from being at Avar.
So what made you decide to go from Avar back into industry?
So I worked at Go Engineer for about 7 years. I worked at a Linex, which got bought by Go Engineer. So we just say Go Engineer, 7 years. And then I was working with Emerson and actually part of the team that was trying to convince Emerson to switch over to SolidWorks and the transition. And
you were part of the deal.
Well, kind of. Came on site, did some training, got to know people, and then they reached out about this position that I have. And it was like, all right, well, that sounds like a pretty interesting position where I get to go find new tools and work with people and try to improve things. And they're just starting off fresh. So it should be, all new tools. Like, we're not going to try to adapt a whole bunch of old things that maybe aren't compatible. We get to look at all new stuff. And I thought it sounded like a pretty interesting job. And they made an offer that I couldn't refuse. That was my worst Italian mafia voice there, by the way.
Nice pair of shiny golden handcuffs.
Yes. And so came over and joined the Emerson team. It was actually fun. Like 2 weeks before I started here, I was training some of my now coworkers in SolidWorks because they were getting switched over to SolidWorks at that time. So it was really good to, meet everybody, or not everybody, a lot of people in advance by training them before coming on and actually working with them.
You say it kind of makes the first couple of induction weeks a bit easier, doesn't it?
Yeah, like, oh yeah, I know you, and oh, I remember you. Of course, after a couple of weeks of training, I think I had 16 or 18 people in each class. It's more like, I remember your face.
Why are you still here? And Shane, how did you get into Emerson? The world of
So basically, Emerson was my job right out of college. But how I got my foot in the door is my senior design project actually was with Emerson as a whole for my senior design project, and we worked with them doing the design process, everything, and then we even ended up submitting patent applications after the senior design project for them, and that really is what the whole project is kind of what got my foot in the door here as a design engineer and product engineer. About 15 years ago now in June is when I got hired here, and I've worked as a product engineer, which is where all my steam conditioning background comes into play. I spent 8 years doing that, and then I've got additive manufacturing industry experience here at Emerson, working with our metal 3D printers, so large scale printers that there is actually a lot of automation associated with that I've noted. Yeah, what Adam's showing on the screen right now is one of the parts that we have. And actually, you know what? I'll show. This is one of my babies right here that I've got. This is cobalt chrome, not cobalt chrome 718. Really, really nice thing. And that got me into the additive area. And then a couple years ago, I think about three and a half now, I got moved into the position that I am in currently as a senior design engineer. That's also around the same time that we switched from Creo to SolidWorks. And so I dove in headfirst when I got in this position, and then Adam came on board, and I dove in even deeper head first. And that's kind of my story, at least here at Emerson. So
like
what he's forgetting to mention, though, I'm going to cut you off. Sorry, Kirby. He's also our first CSWE after going live. Pushed
Very
him hard
nice.
on that and got him to be the first one.
Yeah, get up there first. Convince everybody else it's a good idea.
Yep. And we've got a couple more people that have joined, and one that is working currently on that CSWE right now.
We got 15 of them right now.
Well, there you
That's
go.
excellent. I mean, I'm sure Mike would be super proud of that. Like you getting those certifications is another 80,000 people.
Yeah, we're not going to get all of them, but that would be nice.
You can try.
Well,
Can
so
try.
you know how
Not with that
We're split-
attitude.
we're split off in our little areas, and we work with about 15,000 people. Is where the flow controls portion that we are in would be. So
That's crazy.
I can work
We
on
just
those
have-
numbers.
Yeah, we got 30 people in our company. Like it's as mad numbers to think companies get that big.
I can't imagine how HR even keep up. Like,
There's a lot
it
of
must
them.
be a logistical nightmare.
They have
months
one
without
at every
seeing someone and being
location.
like, they still work here. I don't know.
How do they
Do
make sure everybody does their cybersecurity training and how to use a ladder training?
They send those out. Actually, I have 2 of those that I need to get done.
Yep.
I don't-
I've actually got one as well.
I've just
I had
sent
to
an
do one.
email. I've just
I had to
sent an
do one
email
today
before.
to kind of like how to drive to work.
What?
No,
Interesting.
This was sent to people that don't have driver's licenses.
I was going to
Leonard.
say, just say you get the bus. Yeah, Leonard.
But so you got some 3D printed metal parts, and Johnny was saying earlier how you kind of get these customers that are like, oh, we don't have the tooling to make that anymore, or it's a one-off. Have you got a lot of customers that are switching to metal printing for their valves or their fixtures instead of going back to the old ways of making them?
Fixtures definitely have a lot more fixturing that we've been doing. I also help manage our plastic 3D printers here up in the area that I work in, and I definitely am getting requests quite frequently for fixturing. But as for valves in particular, that one is a little more difficult because the industry, the boiler and pressure vessel code industry, hasn't really fully accepted metal as a control a
Printed
pressure
metal.
retaining device. So basically where anything would go to atmosphere. Now there are cases that we have and that we've got people on these ASME boards talking and pushing, hey, let's do the additive thing. Let's get material specifications, specific requirements, wall thicknesses, all of that different thing, or those things to push doing printed parts. Now, along with that, the industry accepting printed parts is the ability to make it profitable. I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of people want to make money on these things, but if you can't make a additive valve cheaper than you can, say, the cast equivalent for the same valve, there's no point in really doing that. And that's
100%.
where some of those special materials come into play, like titanium valves. We've sold additive titanium valves, but they're not certified per ASME. We have to do a whole bunch of additional certifications and testing and things like that to go, this valve is safe. You don't have to worry about anything with it. And then it's, okay, we sell that valve. It sits in the pipeline for 4 or 5 or 6 years or 10 years or whatever. And now people are like, okay, you've got runtime with this material in this type of application. We're okay accepting that now. Versus, hey, you want something in aluminum or stainless steel, I can go get a casting at $100 versus $1,000 for the exact same 3D printed body. So does that answer your question?
Yeah, I mean, with us being a 3D printing service, a lot of people come to us like, can this survive below 50 degrees Celsius temperatures? And we're like, well, no, stick it in the fridge. Find out. Tell us.
Yep.
We don't do a lot of the testing, but it is fascinating when customers trust us. And we got a company that build these little automated drone submarine type things to exploration for kind of under the water. And they've then taken those parts down below about, I think, 2,000 or 3,000 meters below sea level and back up. And
Awesome.
with powder bed fusion, it's kind of porous. Our
Yep.
biggest worry was, well, those pressures. What is the water? How much of that water is going to go into the pot? And they waited afterwards. It was basically negligible. Like for us, then we said, "Cool, can we do a case study?" If we did, then we take that to other companies and be like, "This is what our other customers have done with this stuff," and that allows us to grow. So it's getting that one customer to trust you, prove that it can work. I guess with dealing with gas and oil and that, there's a lot more hurdles to go through. And I guess with
the certification hoops alone, it's an art in itself. Let's say, Kirby. Let's use them words.
Yeah, and I know the US government there's a whole big thing about 3D printing now, mostly around firearms and that, but that probably doesn't make it any easier.
Nope. Especially when you can go scan those parts and go, hey, I don't need to go buy a model. I can just scan somebody else's and print it. And now I've got the thing and you don't know about it.
It's definitely a place for it. Definitely a place for, I've got a printer here that I'm just printing stuff for myself. And if I really wanted, I can print almost anything on that. It's probably won't go to hold much pressure if I'm going to make a valve to make sure that my gas is safe, but you can certainly try.
Don't try that. Just don't try that.
Yeah.
Just don't say, I'll certainly try. Just don't. That's not a good idea. I don't need a row of houses in Dartford just disappearing.
I've seen those explosions happen. It's nuts. Like, I'm not a fan of things that I can't see. So like water, that's easy. You can see where it's flowing. Electricity and gas, where's it coming from?
Do you know what? That was something I got told at university, is electric is witchcraft. You can't see it, but it'll kill you instantly.
I always say I'm not wired that way because I just don't understand it.
It flows like water. It's just kind of more dangerous because you can't see if it's leaking.
Well, but yeah, it flows like water, but this way and then that way and then back this way and then back that way. Like
instantaneously.
I've got to do an electrician's course because
oh my God.
Yeah, a couple of people electrocuted themselves at work. Now.
They're blaming you?
No, absolutely not. I was the one that was like, we need to sort this out. So that's going to be a fun week.
Yeah, I wouldn't have put you in that pot, but good luck.
I tell you what, whenever one of our printers get delivered, I've got to wire the 3 phases for myself.
Oh, I actually just had to do some wiring on one of my 3D printers, one of my personal printers, just the other day because I toasted one of the motors.
Oh, fun!
Which one?
My Ender 5 Plus that I've got. One of the leads just melted completely.
I mean, it's as long as it's not plugged in, you should be fine. Guy worked and unplug it.
Is that what you do when you change your light bulb, Curb? Just unplug the house.
Yeah. Just use one of my 3D printed switches that I put in.
Yeah, great, yeah.
No, I had to rewire one of our isolator switches on one of our printers because I found out that it was isolating only 2 out of the 3 phases, which is not ideal. Again, like
60% is fine, whatever.
Yeah, no, I was kind of like, it's a good thing they've got little lights here because I wouldn't have known that.
Multimeters can be your best friend.
They scare me just as much. Here, put these pieces of metal on these live wires and see if it's working.
Insulated. Just don't hold the metal bit.
Yeah,
the electric's not my favorite thing in the world. I'll say I can tinker with it, but it's nah. I'll take stuff that flows in a pipe all day long.
Yep. I agree.
I'm a plastic. I'm happy with that.
I like that too. I get to then use my awesome CAD software to make the thing.
100%. I mean, it's what got me really interested in 3D printing was I started using SolidWorks. It was a software I could make whatever I wanted, and then there's a machine that I throw those files at it and it can print it for me.
They get faster and faster every year as well.
There's a blaster from Fallout 4.
Nice.
Because I could.
Because you could.
I liked it so much I made 2.
Did you make an adult and a kids one there?
This was my first model, and I realized it's a bit small. So
You
I
wanted more
made
firepower,
changes.
so you scaled her up.
I've still got to paint them though.
I don't do painting. It gets too messy.
I agree. My wife
I-
wanted Boba Fett stuff, so I made her the Boba Fett helmet, arm stuff, everything, you name it. I printed all of it for her. I did not do the armor because Boba Fett armor doesn't work for a woman too well. So we did Bo-Katan armor instead because that works better.
Yeah, I mean, you can take Bo-Katan's armor and paint it Boba Fett kind of.
Exactly. And that's what we're going to do. But so she's got to do all this painting to it. I got it all printed off for her.
That sounds like a nice quiet weekend for you.
Right. I'm in the process. I've got a friend of mine that wanted some Helldiver armor, and I've got the helmet sitting behind me, and I need to do some Bondo stuff to it, and then we're gonna have to figure out how to paint it. And
Is it on the other
all
side
that
of the brick wall?
yes, I can pull it out if you want to see it.
Go for it! Like, shut up. I've got a box of ghosts that I'm printing.
Kool-Aid Man through that wall.
Look, it's yes.
That's really cool.
So just glued it all together, and there's gaps all over the place.
It doesn't look at that, but Helldivers. If you look at kind of the way that kind of the video game, you're in war, so it's okay to have that battle damage and all that. It's when you make stuff like your Iron Man suits where it's got to be perfect and clean.
Yes.
Crispy
That's
gloss
scary
paint.
stuff.
That's even worse. Can't even hide it with weathering.
Yeah, if I don't have to paint, that's what I like about the AMS, being able to just.
Well, that's what I was going to say, Kirby.
Yes.
Why didn't you print that in color?
That's a lot of color. That's like rust and red and all sorts.
Get to it.
You can hook 16 colors up.
It would be quicker to spray paint this and just paint it.
Are you sure?
Not for me.
I'll do it right now. Watch. I'm joking.
Depends how many times he thinks it's not right and has to read.
Here's one I made earlier. That would have been hilarious. No, so it's fascinating ways to kind of speak to other people in different industries. I mean, one of the favorite things about World is being able to find people and talk to people doing something completely different to yourself.
Absolutely.
Yep. Networking in general, when you get to go there, just to see everybody else and any part of what they're doing.
It's
an awesome story I've got from one of the other champions or one of the other ESS people. I can't remember which. He was a previous company he had worked at was a company that made power boxes, is what I'm going to say. But basically, they had drones that would do circles to generate power. He doesn't work at that company anymore, but literally like a month ago, just before going to World, I saw something episode on something for the military, and they showed those exact things doing power generation in remote locations. And then I met back up with him at World this year. I had talked with him the previous year and talked with him on that. And it's like, yeah, just craziness, just being able to see, we had talked about it. Then you're seeing ads and different things on it. And then you get to talk to them again about that exact thing. So it's really cool.
Yeah. I always find it fun when I'm being a bureau service. Anybody can upload the files, we print them, we send them. Every now and then you'll see something on TV and you're like, I made that. Or you get an ad on Instagram and you're like, I recognize that. It's always fun when you get to see like your stuff out in the wild. I'm sure Brad and Adam get that a lot.
The coolest thing I ever did is I designed a piece of machinery, and then we came out with a flyer on how cool it was, and then we had to send it to somebody to get it translated to Mandarin so that they could go sell those in China. And then I have a picture of the guy that was selling them with somebody, holding my flyer. I was like, hey, that's my thing on the other side of the world.
Yeah. Makes the world so much smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Ironically, one of our large discs is literally 5 miles from my house, at the top of a nitrogen fertilizer plant. And I've gone all blurry. You'll have to just think that I'm drunk. It's not an unusual sight.
I was like, wait a minute now.
It's
I
like
call
the
it 3D
morning, I've
Experience
slowly-
World Simulator.
I know I've slowly drifted back into focus the next morning. But yeah, one of like, so every time I drive past that, I'm like, oh, discs at the top of that.
Nice.
We've got something similar. When I was a steam conditioning engineer working in the power side, we built a new power plant here in the area that Adam and I work, and we got to go tour that facility, see some of the valves that we actually had designed and made in work, and that powers the city that we live in. And we even, I think, get to test some products out there periodically, and it's all because it's 5 miles from where I'm sitting.
Where is that, Shane? I don't know about
That's
this.
the Alliant Energy power plant on the west side of town.
I didn't know that. Cool.
Yep. All the steam team got to go out there that was there at the time.
And we sometimes do quite a bit of stuff for Pinewood Studios, film studios. It's always fun when you like see that stuff come up, because you look at it and you're like, I know exactly what this is, where this is going, and what movie they haven't announced that this is going to be for.
And then
Like
Kirby
being a big-
remembers to be quiet.
being a big Star Wars nerd, you're like, I know that. Then I show it to other people, it's like, this is going to be for this, and they're like, oh, like, come on, it's cool. And then when it finally comes out, like, I'm watching very closely, trying to spot it. There it is, a little droid rolling in the background. So I'm like, we made that.
So along your movie props there, then Kirby, your all of the Captain America shields are made here in Iowa. Not too
are?
far from us. Yes, they are.
Oh,
And they make them by like the 1,000 because they're not made of vibranium. The prop is not. Just
Darn it.
gonna throw that out there. And they throw them and they get dented. So that one's garbage. And they throw it again and it gets dented. And they just keep chucking them out the back one after another. Yep.
That's cool.
And it's done
Where do they go to?
A big hole in the desert.
I don't know. Probably get remelted down for something else.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's done via metal spinning. I don't forget, or metal turning. But essentially,
oh,
it's like doing a pottery wheel, and they put the metal on there and they just kind of like form it
All
down.
around, yeah, with like a metal bar. It's a mad process that it blows my mind.
I get some of those on Instagram, like lathe turning and all that stuff, and you just sit there, you're like, oh,
Yeah, I've seen the ones
watch
on
it
Instagram.
for me,
but
like,
it's normally a guy with a pair of flip flops doing it.
Yeah,
And you're like, whoa.
that is
the
safe.
place, the place
You're
in
not
Iowa.
wrong.
they
I'm
don't
not
do
wrong. I know
flip-flops.
the video you're on about. He's like, a massive metal disc clamped between two things, spinning with a metal pole, with a pair of flip flops and some safety squints on.
Maybe.
Yeah, I know the videos, Kirby. I think it's a cool process, though. It's unique, and I bet there's some skill involved with it.
it's that kind of thing of like, I'm fascinated by the CNC process because I'm not involved with CNCs. When people are like, 3D printing's cool, I was like, you don't have to live and breathe it. Like, it's also why I like having these conversations and seeing what people are doing in other industries. Seeing what they're getting up to.
So it's one of them that you start it at school age and you live and breathe it, and you just know how to make stuff work. And people look at it and go, "Whoa, how did you do that?" And they're like, "Knowledge." Like, how do I get it? And you're like, "You're 30 years too late."
So watch some Titans of CNC videos.
He makes it look easy. It's not that easy. I'm telling you, it's not that easy.
It's
No.
ramming ahead in 30,000
Yeah, that's
RPM
it. You know,
because they can.
spin a spindle at 30,000 RPM to take a 0.1 cut. If you go slightly deeper with this tiny end mill, the whole thing flies out the door.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
So I've got a snap maker at home, which is a little bitty like home version they can do the machining and stuff on. I'm working on a project for Shane right now with some brass that I've got to go machine. So, yeah.
What you making? Or is it private?
I
secrets.
can describe it. Go for it.
So I've got a friend of mine that is an author, and she has this seal for her books that is like a capital G calligraphy type thing. And I printed her actually a wax sealer. Well, it's in SLA material, so it's a ABS-like material. And I'm like, this does what you're asking it to do, but it would probably be good to do in brass. So I got some brass from scrap area here and melted it down, and I've handed it to Adam to try and make a brass version of this thing as a surprise present for her books and everything, because she sends them out with like stickers and things like that and does the actual wax seal on it. I might even have one that I can show on screen if needed, or if you would like, but it's literally like this big and just SLA material, but trying to make it a little more usable, a little fancier. So
Nice.
Cool. I'm more fascinated that you made your own bullet. I really didn't expect that. I expected
one of my
fished out of the end of a bar out of the scrap bin. No, I made my own brass. Build it out of scrap.
One of my hobbies that I do is blacksmithing, and that's how I got into it. And
Oh, really?
yep. And then
Nice.
there we go. That is my forge melting the billet that Adam just showed on screen.
FYI, Shane, I haven't machined anything into it, in case you didn't notice.
I kind of noticed that. And let's see if this one, and there's that billet on my floor in a cast iron pan that I melted it into that Adam gave me.
It's times like this I wish I'd lived in America, where I could just have a forge in my garage next to my car lift and my CNC machine. You know what I mean? Like
the UK is not. I've got like my detached garage and there's stuff in there, but you just, if I started melting metal down, I'd have like the police outside. Like, what are you doing?
Well, we live in the middle of the U.S. There's country all around us.
Yeah,
so.
you're in the right state for it. Plenty of space. No nosy neighbors bothering you. I did some welding in my garage last year, and people were walking past, looking and thinking, like, "What's he doing? Why?" Like, don't have a hobby. Don't do anything. Sit and watch TV.
Don't do anything in the backyard.
See, I walk by and I'm like, hey, I could probably become friends with that guy.
Yeah,
he does cool stuff.
Same.
To be fair, there's a guy across the street, and I think he's quite interested in knowing what the hell I do on a weekly basis in general life. Never mind in the garage. But yeah, he always looks across like, the door's up. What's he doing today?
That's how you make friends. Pull up your garage door, start doing something, somebody wanders over.
Yeah.
Just became best friends.
Exactly that.
See, the thing is, like, especially in London, like, someone walked up to me while I was doing something like that, and I'll be like, don't talk to me.
Dude, in London, if someone did that, I'd be like, I'm shutting the door. Don't leave the door open anymore.
People just don't talk. As well, like, going up north is that people say hello to you.
They do. They do say hello, and sometimes it gets you in trouble because everyone says hello. And there's some strange people that say hello, and then you can't escape. In London, the only people that say hello are the strange people. So you know that it's strange.
Okay.
The North lulls you into a false sense of security.
Lessons learned.
Yeah.
Don't say hello in London.
It's true. Like, there's these videos about jokes about just people they don't talk.
They're just rude. Is the only word for it.
The mentality is, I'm sure both of you guys drive to work.
Yep.
You're on your own in the car. You don't wind down your window and talk to the person in the traffic next to you. It's the same thing when someone's walking, from their house to the train, sitting on the train and getting to work. That's their commute. They just want to get to work. They don't want to chit chat.
It's a fair point. But if you have the awkward interaction on the stairs, I think you can say, "Sorry, good morning." You don't have to push them down the stairs.
Hey, you've had some tough times in London.
I don't mind it. I'm a northerner, let's say. I like my space. I like people that are friendly, and I don't like feeling like I'm going to get mugged.
To be fair, I do enjoy coming to the States because then you walk into a shop and people are like, "How are you doing? How's your day?" They generally want to know.
Yeah, it's called
Not
customer
just small
service.
talk.
Yeah, you love it. Like I like it, but then it gets a bit much. I'm like, stop, please.
As a UKer, when you're in America after a week, you're like, okay, are you guys like are you all like this? Are you all this friendly? And you genuinely are. But as the UK, because you're not used to it, you're like, this is a shock to the system.
I went to a liquor store in Florida. This was fun.
Oh boy.
I bought myself a couple of cans of Jack Daniels and Coke, and then a bottle of whiskey. And the person, the cashier, was blown away by this. Like, why are you buying so much? I was like, oh, that's for fancy drinking. This one's for casual drinking. And they're like, casual drinking? I'm like, yeah, like if I want to throw one back, I'm not going to, drink the whiskey that way. I'm going to
one back.
I mean, even the guy at the hotel, because I needed laundry tokens. Laundry tokens were cash only. So I went to the ATM. Smallest I could draw was $20. So I said, oh, I can't give change for a $1 token. So I just bought myself 2 beers and a laundry pod. And he's like, this is the weirdest thing I've ever checked out. It's like, well, what do you expect me to do while I'm waiting for my laundry?
Well, you need 20 laundry tokens for a 2-day stay.
So, yeah, I just sat it by the pool drinking 2 beers while my laundry was doing its thing. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense.
It's all logic.
Yeah.
But we're not alcoholics, I promise.
We have Wisconsin, don't worry.
We have Iowa.
We have Wisconsin.
Yeah, we know.
I just heard this week, and I haven't looked into the facts on it, but if you're from Wisconsin, most of the global drinking competitions you are excluded from. They will not allow you in if you're from Wisconsin.
Seriously?
That's
wow.
what just last week I heard this.
Interesting.
I'm pretty sure Betty's from Wisconsin.
She is. I was just thinking.
Yeah, she can
Yes.
throw back a few.
Yeah.
It's not fake news. It's all I'm saying.
Having family up there and visited many times myself, I totally get it.
Wisconsin, as long as you're with your parents in the bar, you can get served. If your parents are there, you can be like 12 and be like, yeah, my dad's over there. All right, here's a beer.
Point to the nearest guy who's sat on his own.
Yeah.
That's wild. It's very French of them.
Very French of them.
So you guys thoroughly enjoyed World. You thought it was worth it.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
I would say it's my
Excellent.
favorite one since the first one I went, because the first one's obviously going to be at least
Special.
the best. Everything was shiny and brand new and had that extra crispness to it, or at least that's how I remember it, even if it wasn't. And this was the best one since then.
We've been hearing that a lot, and I think the special event was really special.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. That was really fun.
Excellent, and I'm sure you guys are looking forward to Nashville. Hopefully, you guys will be there as well.
That's the hope.
That's the plan. I booked
Okay,
my
boys.
calendar off already.
Nice.
Oh geez.
I
I
literally
need to do that.
they at World they announced the dates, and I'm on my work calendar. And that week I'm off, just immediately. People always wonder, like, I book you leave like 2 years in advance. People are like, why are you always off? Because I booked my leave. We're at like the end of the calendar year, and everybody's rushing to book leave. I'm like, just take it throughout the year. Things I'm going to pick up all the pieces. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. But guys, thank you very much for hanging out. I think this is a great place to wrap up this little chat. It was absolutely awesome hanging out with you. Obviously, we had a lovely chat there at the CSWE event. Kind of brainstormed this idea of, hey, let's hang out, let's chat. And learn from each other, see what we're all doing in this wonderful world of engineering and whatnot.
Lots of stuff with pipes.
Yeah.
Plastic.
For now.
Plastic pipes.
Excellent. I assume that belongs to one of you, that message.
That'd be
Yep.
Adam.
That'd be my wife.
Excellent. Thought I'd shout that out. Perfect timing. Battery's about to die. Thanks for hanging out, Todd, Holly, and good old Mike Puckett. Take care. Guys, it's been awesome. I'm going to switch to a screen where it shows our socials.
This is always the fun part. I don't know if you guys have watched them do these socials before. You never know what combination of zeros and O's you're going to get, and dots.
I'm going to nail it this time, Johnny.
You have been doing well lately. It's only taken 100 episodes.
If you want to follow me, I'm at KJ Designs 365.
At JH_product engineering for myself.
If you want to follow the podcast to see when we go live next or when our next video from 3D Experience World, go to the corepodcast.contact on Instagram, Facebook. It's the Core Podcast with the O's of 0, and Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok. It's at the Core Podcast.
Smashed it. I've gone blurry again. Must be.
Where can people find you guys? If you want them to find you.
LinkedIn, you can get me on there. I'm on Facebook as well. That's really the only ones I do. I'm kind of boring.
You know, do like TikTok dances and
the less you do, the better. Is my
I don't dance.
I have Snapchat and Instagram, and I turned the notifications off almost immediately after installing them, to the point where I'm about ready to uninstall them.
LinkedIn is the motto there. Then basically.
Yep.
Like it.
Excellent. For all your automation needs and pops. Excellent. Guys, thank you very much for hanging out with us. And,
Absolutely.
Thank you, everybody that's hanging out.
Thank you guys for having us.
Anytime.
You're more than welcome. You know, I like it when people come to us and ask us they want to be involved. They want to chat. It's always fantastic.
Awesome.
But thank you very much. We'll see everybody in the next one.